Okay, so the rumor is true. Okay, we just traded you. Okay, we traded you to the Indianapolis Colts. All right, so you okay?
Nah, I'm gonna call my grandmother.
You can call your grandmother. Okay, this hasn't hit the papers or anything like that. Okay, well, what we'll just do? Why don't we do a little business?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ricky Rod and my co-host Gage Gwynn.
Good evening,
and welcome
everybody.
to this week's episode of Throwing Bombs. And what you guys just heard was from 2012 HBO's Hard Knocks. And that was, I believe, Jeff Ireland, the GM at the time, he just traded Vontae Davis to the Colts. Okay, Vontae, when he was at the Dolphins, we had him and Sean Smith, I think. We drafted them as rookies.
Wow, I did not know Sean Smith.
And we got them because of Tom Brady. Is basically why we got them.
You both traded them.
And we ended up eventually getting rid of both of them. But regardless, that's the best line in the whole series. I gotta call my grandma. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad he loves his grandma. But the other funny story about Vontae Davis is that he quit at halftime.
He retired at halftime.
He retired.
And told no one. Lorenzo Alexander was like, that's the most disrespectful thing I've ever had in football.
So folks, if you don't know, he's the corner. He was the corner for the Bills. Played 2 quarters of football this past yesterday. And
retired.
And put his clothes on and left. And then on Twitter, he posted his letter. Okay, this beautiful, really nice retirement letter. And I don't know if his agent was like, Vontae, this probably doesn't look too good. We should post something.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Vontae's interviews, and he's not as eloquent as what was tweeted.
I mean, he's like, he probably was going to have that posted at some point this season, like whenever he stopped giving a crap, and then he just decided to stop giving a crap halfway through a game.
I mean, that's got to be the first in modern football for somebody to retire halfway through.
Like Lorenzo Alexander said, he's like, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen, period.
And the coach, Sean McDermott, was asked today if he had talked to Vontae Davis, and his response was, I have not talked to him since halftime. Thank you, Bills, for being a dumpster fire. Thank you for just being horrible. So, guys, so audience, if you know, we're actually recording this on a Monday night, and me and Gage are actually watching the Chicago Bears and Seattle Seahawks game at the same time here in the studio.
0-0.
It is 0-0 currently, but you'll hear us reference that into the middle of this episode as we get going. So, Gage, what do you got for us this week?
Alrighty, we're going to do the same things we did last week. Just, doing the scores from last week. We're actually going to tally up our predictions from last week, too.
Okay. There was some really good games this week.
So, and I'm going to just go ahead and check mark the stuff that, we got wrong. Or if you want to do that too, or I'll do it, actually.
Okay, all right.
So, we're going to start out with the Thursday night game, Ravens and Bengals.
What happened?
The defense gave up whenever AJ Green scores first touchdown.
And CJ Mosley got hurt, right?
Yep.
When did he get hurt? Like second play, third play?
It was very early.
And that was it.
And he's the anchor.
Yeah.
Him and Eric Weddle. And when one of them
AJ Green lit them up.
Yeah. And Flacco had a good game though.
Yeah, he didn't play bad.
I
watched
350 yards.
Yeah, the defense let you guys down.
Right. So we both got that one wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and
welcome
put
to the NFL
over there. Falcons and Panthers. We both got that wrong also.
We went with Carolina, did we?
Yep.
Did you see that hit?
Yeah, that was
laid out on
uncalled for.
That
was completely preventable.
And my favorite part was when Torrey Smith came around.
Oh, I know.
And popped him. I was like, yeah, boy. I loved it. But I hate that they lost. The Falcons are going to be always tough at home. Matt Ryan doesn't really like to lose at the Dome.
Right.
We ignored that. Okay.
Next, Colts and Redskins. Surprise, surprise. Got this one wrong too. 0-for-3 so far for both of us.
We are awesome. Okay, so we could talk about that game real fast.
Yeah.
I actually studied up on this because I wanted to text my brother-in-law, who's a huge Redskins fan. I didn't have time, so I just found some really funny fan blogs, and one of the fan blogs I read from the Washington perspective, right, was that Alex Smith, they discovered check down king yesterday, according to this blog, right? And they discovered their defense is doo-doo. This is nothing. This is
common.
This is nothing
knowledge.
new. And that Jay Gruden is not the best coach, according to this blog. I don't believe it. I think he's above average. I think they will pull it out next week. Horrible home opener for the Redskins, and I'm sorry for y'all Redskins fans.
Yeah, that was. Oh, what just happened?
Trubisky just
threw a pick.
No, he just ran the ball for a bunch there.
Wow. Okay. All right, moving on. Texans and Titans, 17-20.
Man, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, we got that one wrong. Also, we're 0 for 4
Did
now.
you see that game?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
The last final.
okay, Mariota can't feel his hand
Right.
at all. Can't feel his fingers from the Dolphins game.
People are actually trashing on Mariota right now, and I'm like,
No.
the man can't feel
I
his
think,
hand.
yeah, I think he's a great quarterback, and they had to put Blaine Gabbert in. They ran all sorts of crazy stuff. They had Wildcat going on in that
Did you
game.
see where in the fourth quarter, what is it like a D-back or wide receiver had more passing yards than Blaine Gabbert?
Yes.
He was 1 for 1.
When
for
Blaine
66
Gabbert is your
yards and a
quarterback,
touchdown.
that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're gonna get 117
And
yards.
and apparently Deshaun
Watson
had some horrible clock management issues at the end of that game.
Yes.
I mean, he's sort of responsible for that. And I mean, I'm glad for the Titans, man. They got to win. Look at that.
Honestly, like we're trying to focus, but at the same time, when you hear an announcer raise his voice to like 2 octaves
Chicago's
higher,
doing
you're
well
like,
right
uh-oh.
now. Yeah. They're moving the ball on the Seahawks. Okay, go ahead.
Next one, Fitz Magic, baby.
Wow.
27-21 Buccaneers over Eagles.
Did you see his press conference?
Conor McGregor?
He looked just like Conor McGregor. He borrowed those
DJ,
clothes.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
I laughed.
I think
butt
his
off.
teammates love him.
Yeah, I mean he's
And
a
I think
character.
Jameis better be careful. This is gonna be like the Vikings last year when Casey Keenum got hot.
Yep.
They stuck with Casey Keenum
instead of Sam Bradford.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen. I think they're gonna stick with Fitz.
Well, Fitzpatrick is known to. I mean, he's an average quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
But he has had better games than Jameis Winston, and he's
Yes,
been
he
to
has.
the playoffs.
Well, we didn't hear anything from Deshaun Jackson last year.
Right. and we were
Mike
already-
Evans, you did. Jameis really didn't utilize him as much, and then all of a
Exactly.
sudden, that's all we've heard. So, but good for them. Good for them.
All right, next game. First correct answer by me. Chiefs 42,
Yeah.
Steelers 37 behind. Patrick Mahomes,
So last
6
week-
touchdowns.
So last week, I
You thought Patrick
said
Mahomes
give
was kind
Mahomes
of
a couple of weeks,
a fluke,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I just said
Wasn't a
give
fluke.
him
I know.
give him a month for defenses to figure out
But dude,
what to do. But the bottom line is
can't.
he outgunned Big Ben.
his arm he literally has thrown the longest pass in history. He
His
threw
velocity-
a 67-yard pass.
His velocity's crazy.
And I'm not talking like because obviously a record's like 99 yards from like a touchdown pass, but the ball leaving his hand to the receiver 67 yards.
Well, he's got an arm, and I went back and watched all of his touchdowns,
His
which
throw-
are numerous. It's like, what, 10?
He has 10, which is
He
a
broke
record.
a record,
Yep.
yeah. So he's throwing the ball into some very, very crazy spaces. It's
It's
very
because he can throw it so fast.
it looks like
and
Madden almost.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's I mean, Andy Reid is considered sort of an offensive genius anyway.
Probably a quarterback genius.
Yeah,
I would
and
say,
this
aside
makes
from
him-
Kevin Cole
This makes him look more like a genius than ever. And
trading away an
he was-
aging quarterback.
he
for
was
a
asked
fresh
about
one.
it this week. Hey, why is Mahomes doing so good? And the first thing he says is because he got to sit with Alex Smith last year, and Alex Smith showed him what it was like to be a pro quarterback, and to prepare. So, if he's preparing like Mahomes says he's preparing for every game, right? Watching film, doing the right things.
Right.
I think he's going to have a bright season, man. I mean, so far it's been pretty stellar. I still think he'll hit a wall at some point once defenses get enough games of him on tape.
I mean, to be fair, who has he played so far? The Steelers and
Steelers are a shell of what they used to be. I
Right.
don't understand defensively what they've done to that team. That team used to have major players at every position.
man, they kind of
Safety, corner, linebacker, D-line. They had, think about
I
it.
know, like-
for years.
And now it switched to offense like that.
For years, it was just unbelievable players at every position. Like every position group had just legends, Hall of Famers.
Right.
And they have become an odd team.
They are a glass cannon. You don't know if they're going to come in and just explode or shatter. Like, you never know.
Well, I'll tell you what, they can't get past the Patriots, and that really speaks badly of Tomlin right now, in my opinion.
Right.
But,
and we'll talk about the Patriots in a couple games.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins pulled it out.
Yeah, I watched the game. No, they didn't. They didn't pull it out. They laid it to them.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah,
like,
they laid it to them.
We picked them to lose.
No, I said I would not pick against them.
I thought you said I had to go Jets.
No, I said I have to go with the Fins. Yeah,
Okay.
I said I can't pick against them.
Oops.
I said, but it's going to be a close game. But here's the deal: the Dolphins' defense is not what I'm used to and what Dolphins fans are used to, right? They brought in the wide nine a couple of years ago when they got Sue, right?
Right, yeah.
And they started making adjustments, but the bottom line is our linebackers have been awful, corners have been iffy at best. The year we made the playoffs 2 years ago, with the first year with Gase, we had the Broncos coach. I can't remember his name. Whatever the head coach is right now. He was our D coordinator, and
right.
he's a really good defensive coordinator. He found a way to sort of hide our issues on defense. But now, after watching us play the Jets, we shut down the run, and we were able to run the ball. Frank Gore won that game for us.
Yep.
And Tannehill made a great play with his legs at the end of that game. It's hard to win at the Jets, especially in your division. Mm-hmm. I was really impressed with that team. Kenyon Drake had some good plays. Amendola got the doo-doo knocked out of him, came back. I was worried. That was a bad hit.
Yeah.
That was a bad hit. So I hope the press leaves the Dolphins alone. I hope, I do want to remind everybody that ESPN had the Dolphins at 32 on the power rankings prior to week 1.
Wow.
32.
Behind the Bills?
Behind the Bills and the Browns.
Well, I would put the Browns
quote
a
unquote,
little
this
higher.
is what they would say. When the Dolphins traded away Sue, they got rid of Sue. They got rid of, we got rid of all these players. Really, we got rid of Landry and we got rid of Sue. They said there's nobody there on that team. Tannehill's coming back from an injury. He's going to be horrible. Yeah, we don't have anybody.
Yep.
We don't have anybody. No talent. When you get rid of talent, NFL Network Radio said this 2 weeks ago. When you get rid of talent like the Dolphins did, you can't have high expectations for your team. Well, look at this now. Like, all of a sudden, you're going to see the rhetoric change, but NFL media hates the Dolphins. Don't even get me started.
All righty. 2-0.
I'm impressed.
Can't argue with that.
Usually we sync after the first month. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Chargers and Bills. Okay,
Man, it's the Bills.
Yeah.
Chargers came out,
Surprise.
did their thing. Vontae Davis stole the headline for that.
I didn't even care about the game. I just cared about Vontae Davis.
Yeah, that was great.
Moving on. Vikings and Packers, 29-29.
Wow, let's
Tie.
talk about that game.
So first off, this is the first time since 1971 that a tie has happened in 2 consecutive weeks.
A good friend of
know that?
mine, Kevin Purcell. Kevin, we love you. He's been a guest on our podcast, and I think he's going to be on soon. He's a avid Packers fan.
Oh.
Yeah, huge fan. And boy, his Twitter lit up Sunday.
Is he one that because there are some Packer fans that will defend the poop out of Aaron Rodgers?
No,
and
I
blame the
think
whole team?
no, I think he's level-headed about it.
Okay, cool.
I think he's very level-headed about it. But I will tell you this: 2 things that cost him that game. Aaron Rodgers was not as mobile as he used to be at the end of that game.
Yep.
He got sacked. If he had his legs, if he had that knee, I think he would have been able to get out of that pocket and make something happen.
And the kicker.
Okay, let's talk. We'll talk about kickers in a minute because there's a bunch of them going to be fired today.
Yeah,
if not, they've already
gosh.
been released today and replaced. And then that sack on Kirk Cousins from Clay Matthews, that was a bull doo-doo call from the refs. Did you see that sack? Mm-hmm. It was the cleanest sack. He hit him middle of his body. I don't think Clay Matthews could have done anything more perfectly and within the rule. And then he gets called for
Honestly,
that penalty.
When I watched that game, and then I watched like the Steelers one. It's such a gray area on where to tackle people now. That
Well,
you have,
it's the league's fault.
it's like below your knees.
These referees are not they're not uneducated people.
Right.
Most of them are lawyers. Most of them are very well educated people. And if they don't know what the rules are when it comes to the quarterback, we have a problem as a league.
Yeah.
I think we're two weeks into the season already, and it's the highest scoring.
It's
by
also
far.
a flag fest.
Yeah, highest scoring offensively we've had in history, and the most penalties.
Right. Dude, no lie, when I watched the Steelers game, there was a drive the Chiefs had that kept them that put them up by 12. There was 5 flags on that one drive. Both teams' faults too.
What we're saying is the officiating crews are inconsistent at best.
They seem kind of scared to let things go.
Well, it's going to get to the point like last year's Super Bowl where they're told to let the teams play because they let the teams play last year.
Oh, for sure.
Every
that
Super
was
Bowl.
the most entertaining.
Yeah,
game,
and that's what's going to happen. The same thing's going to happen. We're going to have these tightly officiated games. All of a sudden, Super Bowl happens, and they're going to be told, lay off. And they do. It's so blatant. It's so blatant.
Yep.
The NFL denies it every year.
Yep.
NFL denies it every year.
They call certain things like obvious pass interference or obvious holding, but
That's it.
Honestly, holding is a thing on every play.
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
it's very subtle sometimes, and sometimes it's obvious as crap, But
yes,
but every play there's at least a tiny bit of holding.
yeah,
And
I'm with
they
you.
they could call it if they wanted to. They could call like 15 holding calls a game, but they're not going to.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
Disappointed. I think the Packers got robbed, to be honest.
yeah.
And I mean, good for the Vikings, man. I mean, they sort of own that division technically. They're the ones that need to be beat.
yeah.
And if Aaron Rodgers is going to be on one leg this whole season, he's still better than most of the quarterbacks in the league. So there
Side
you go.
note: NFL penalty on Packers Matthews was correct.
Yeah. No. No. They are wrong.
I'm gonna
Totally
go through
wrong.
the news section after.
I'm not even a
everything.
Packers fan, and I feel bad for them.
Right. All right. Let's move on to the Browns 18, Saints 21.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a shout out
Mr.
to my
Gonzalez.
friend John Bachelon who loves the Saints. And-
Really?
Yeah, and he's listening to the past 2 podcasts. He's
Okay.
like, shout me out sometime.
Okay.
Perfect time to shout
there
him
you go,
out
John.
on a garbage game
Well,
on the Saints' part. They have not played well at all.
they haven't, and
You see the last play
the
though?
Cleveland Browns kicker, Mr. Gonzalez, who
He's
formerly
missed, like,
used to kick,
4.
he got released today.
Yep.
Injury settlement, by the way, and they didn't even know he was
Really?
injured, by the way. Yeah. So supposedly groin injury. So he cost him the last 2 games, arguably.
He missed the extra point.
Yes.
Then he missed the field goal. Then
Yes,
the game
and
before
that's a
he missed
shame.
the field goal.
That's a shame because I'm pulling for that team.
They could be 2-0 right now.
Yes,
literally.
And it tells you how close the margin of error is in the NFL.
Yep.
And you're right, man. The Saints are weird. If anything, I think the Browns' defense is for real.
Oh yeah.
And
for
if
sure.
they can get some things going offensively,
I think the offense is actually pretty underrated.
I mean, they traded Josh Gordon today. He's done.
Yep. We'll talk
Went
about
to the
that in a little bit
Patriots.
too.
Yeah, but I mean, that's weird, right?
Yeah.
They said he came into reports are he came into the facility Saturday acting weird, pulled a hamstring or something at a commercial
They
Friday.
said he came in with a pulled hamstring, and they're like, and he practiced all week, and they're like, really?
Yeah, and he did it. He did it at some kind of commercial.
Right. So
Thing
they're like,
Friday.
no thanks. We've given you like 17,000 chances.
You're done.
Yep.
I mean, he's only played like 10 or 11 games in
The past 50 games.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel bad for the Browns. That last play with Tyrod Taylor, though, 50-yard
Beautiful.
dot to Antonio,
Beautiful.
which we'll talk about Hard Knocks also.
Yeah, but that was beautiful.
That was ridiculous. And then, of course, the missed extra point.
Yeah.
Okay, Lions and 49ers. Lions actually came back in the end.
Let's talk about Matt Patricia. I think Matt Patricia is going to be running back to the Patriots in a season.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to make it this season.
Let's talk about the fact that the Lions, the past 2 games, have held a lead for like 2 quarters and then blew it in a quarter's worth of time.
I mean, good for San Fran, right?
Yeah, I mean, they caught fire
Yeah.
like the Jets did last week.
Yeah, porn star dude made some plays there, right?
Porn
Jimmy
star dude.
Garoppolo, sorry, Jimmy G.
Yep.
But he made some plays. He made some good throws.
Alrighty. Next game, Cardinals 0, Rams 34. We don't have to talk about this.
We don't even need, there is nothing to say. If anything, it says how well Bruce Arians was a good coach.
It also says that Larry Fitzgerald's injured too.
I saw that,
So
hamstring.
That's the only thing I really
That
am
makes
worried
me
about.
sad, and it makes me sad for a Hall of Fame player like him to go through another season like this.
That makes me worried that
They're going to win 3 games, maybe.
Yep.
It
And
sucks.
he's so loyal that he won't go anywhere else.
Of course.
And I love it.
Man, he's awesome.
Next game, which it made me happy, but it made me confused as to how they played like garbage until the final
Who's this?
Jags and Patriots.
Oh my God! Let's talk
the
about
first
this game.
3 quarters. I was like, "What is that?" And then,
Listen, Blake Bortles.
his best game of his career.
I don't know what has gotten into him, but
He's
you know
usually
what?
doo-doo.
They took it to the Patriots, and the defense won them that game at the end. They were able to get that ball back.
Yep.
Of
just
course,
shows you-
did you see that video clip of Tom Brady yelling at the players and the coaches again? He did it again,
Yeah.
right? And let's talk about how the NFL media, I saw it on Twitter today, right? That somebody posted that video. There's Tom yelling at everybody again. And everybody's responses from the media side is, oh, he's just a competitor, right? He's just, he's a competitor. It's okay for him. They give him a pass.
But then they
Do
give
you
other
think
people-
that's okay if Cam Newton was caught on camera doing that? Or if he or Russell Wilson was doing that?
I mean, I think the difference is if you don't have Tom Brady at that place, you win 2 games.
I agree, but
And
it doesn't excuse
It doesn't excuse it to a point.
It doesn't excuse it, and it just shows how one-sided the media sees things.
I also think it shows how Tom Brady has probably done this at practice so many times
let's
this
talk
year
about
already.
Patrick Mahomes, right? What if he did that? Next game,
Oh, he'd probably get benched.
he'd get destroyed,
Yeah.
right? But granted, when you got 18 million Super Bowl rings, I get it.
And you are literally the face of the franchise, and whenever you retire, there's nothing there. You have a certain level of respect that is earned and
I get
and
it.
is commanded.
There's a double standard, man.
Yeah, I don't believe.
I mean, Dan
that,
Marino, bro. There are video clips of Dan Marino yelling at coaches in college.
Yeah,
I mean, he did it his entire career. He did it as a rookie.
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tom Brady is certainly
There's some
excused.
famous stories about him.
Right. I just think that it's like watching LeBron James, for example, yell at all his teammates, including his head coach, because he was basically the head coach on that team.
I mean, he was also picking who the free agents were.
Exactly. So, I mean,
But in the NBA, that's not unheard of.
right. It's more rare in the NFL, obviously, because normally one man doesn't run that show like that.
NFL power structure is so different than
but
any other
when you
sport.
have Brady, the structure is different.
True, yeah.
That's
mean,
why it's kind of like
if he decides to end
understood.
his career, I mean, the same thing happened with the Dolphins and Marino. There was rumors he was going to go to the Vikings. Denny Green wanted him.
Yeah,
Denny Green wanted him.
His last game was
and
like
he
that.
it was awful.
Doo-doo
It was against Brunell, Mark Brunell.
Yep.
Jaguars put up like 70 points on him. Jimmy Johnson quit. Jimmy Johnson was like, I'm done. And I get it. But they gave Marino the benefit of the doubt. You know. Either way, I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like him yelling at people, and he should not do that. All right.
Moving on. Raiders and Broncos. Raiders losing by 1.
That was a harsh game.
Yep.
Harsh game.
Really
I will say
hard to
this. I think the Raiders are playing tough. There's a lack of talent on that team right now. And they
Who does
traded
he have to throw to besides Amari Cooper?
and they traded the defensive talent, but Derek Carr didn't play too bad.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He was very
But who
efficient.
does he have to throw to?
Yeah. And
Besides Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and he's not doing that great.
Right.
He's not doing that great.
Amari Cooper since his rookie season
they-
has went all the way down to...
They're going to be a tough team. I just think they need talent.
Right.
They need some talent.
Last game, because obviously, Monday Night Football is happening right now. Giants and Cowboys. Cowboys winning.
Wow. Was it the first play they went to Tavon Austin?
Yep.
And everybody this whole week was complaining that the Dallas offense was in trouble. And Zeke played well. I don't. Giants are going to be a work in progress. They got a brand new coach, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, he is a new coach. He's a new coach to the Giants. He had coached before, I think, with Cleveland. Didn't do that great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what's up with Eli. I've always liked Eli. Eli has been Bill Belichick's thorn in his side. I mean,
Yep.
he is. He's always had their number, right? But
I think
this is it for him.
Eli's had a deserved reputation of being the most inconsistent
Oh yeah,
person in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you win 2 Super Bowls and then you miss the playoffs.
I mean,
every
their
other
offense
year.
last week or
Yep.
yesterday
Yep.
was dump offs to Saquon.
Yep. Saquon had a
That
lot
was it.
more passing yards.
Let's just throw
like
2 yards
catching
to Saquon. Let him run.
Yep. Because he had like 20 yards rushing.
It was the most bizarre stat sheet I saw. So
there's last week's games aside from this one. We picked this one. I think we picked the Seahawks to win.
okay, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. We'll cover it next week. We'll just remember to do that.
Nice.
Predictions for this coming week.
All right.
Jets at Browns. Browns. I think they have their due. Their time is now. They're at home. That defense is going to stifle Sam Darnold.
I agree with you. I'll go with Browns.
And I mean, it's just time for them to win.
I'm pulling for them.
I hope and pray.
I just think they should keep the stripes off their helmets.
What if What if they went 15-1?
That
Be an
would
improvement.
Stink. That would stink.
That can't happen.
No.
Okay. Sunday, we got Broncos and Ravens. It's at Baltimore, so I pick Baltimore because if it was at Denver, I would pick Denver.
What's up with C.J. Mosley?
Let me.
I'm going to pick the Broncos because I like their running backs.
Apparently, the Ravens have an 80% chance to
They
win.
They managed to draft not one but 2 good rookie running backs.
C.J. Mosley is questionable.
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Okay.
They are going to run that ball.
Saints and Falcons at Falcons. I'm going to pick Saints. I think they always.
I'm going to go
They
Falcons
always bully
just
the
because they're
Falcons.
at the Falcons.
I
True.
think they bully the Falcons.
But I think they win at home in the
Okay.
dome. Yeah.
Packers and Redskins at Redskins. I think Packers.
I'm going to have to go with the Packers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to be pissed.
Yeah,
And come out there and sling it.
I think their offense needs to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where. I mean, I've said this before. Him with one leg he's still going to be better than Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Alex Smith, I consider a top 16 quarterback.
Maybe.
Yes, he is, bro. Sorry.
I think he's a little higher than that.
Oh yeah.
The last couple of years.
I don't think he's top 10.
The last couple of years, he's been a little bit better.
Yeah, he has.
But
Almost top 10, but not top 10.
we're gonna go to the Colts at Eagles. Man, I'm picking Colts.
What? No.
I think
Carson Wentz.
he's not coming back.
Yes, he is.
It says out on here.
No.
Is it changed now?
Yes.
Okay, because
Carson Wentz is going to start. They announced it today.
Okay, then they haven't changed. It.
Eagles are going to win.
That might actually change my.
Eagles
vote now.
are going to win. He is going to show out. Maybe.
I'm gonna stick to my guns.
No, I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm wild card, because we keep picking the same.
I think Carson Wentz.
Vikings.
Listen,
I'm just
Wentz
gonna say
forwarded a very positive tweet about elevation worship. So I'm going to go with Mr. Wentz. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Vikings over Bills. Okay, moving on. I mean,
Yeah, that's not even something to
it's at
discuss.
Vikings anyways. Raiders at Dolphins. I think Dolphins are gonna win.
Dolphins and the Raiders always. I feel like that lifetime series is almost split, but I'm going to pick Dolphins at home.
Yep.
I think they're going to score a lot of points, but
Bengals at Panthers. I'm gonna pick Panthers.
I'm
think
going to
the
go with
defense
the
is gonna
Panthers as
stifle
well.
Andy Dalton.
I'll go with you. I think Panthers are at home, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're going to have. Hopefully, Cam's okay.
Yep. Giants at Texans. I pick Texans.
I'm going to go Giants.
Barely. I
I'm gonna go
like
Giants.
maybe a field goal.
I'm going to go Giants.
I think that game's gonna suck.
I think they're going to pick off. I don't think Deshaun's right now.
Right.
Okay.
I picked Titans at Jaguars. I picked Jaguars. I
Jaguars.
think Marcus Mariota still probably can't feel his hand.
Yeah, that's
And
bad.
Delaney Walker's out.
Listen,
so.
I feel like every year the Dolphins defense knocks out a quarterback, and I think they got Mariota.
Yep.
I feel bad about that. All right, go ahead.
49ers at Chiefs. I think Mahomes is going to keep staying hot.
At Chiefs?
At Chiefs.
Oh, I'm picking
Chiefs.
Mahomes.
Yep. Chargers at Rams. That's going to be a close game.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I believe so.
I will go with the Rams.
Maybe a touchdown.
I think the Rams are
They're
going
for
to be
real.
it for the NFC.
I think, hey, dark horse, Chiefs for the Super Bowl.
You think so?
They're going to at least get in the championship game, yeah.
I don't know, man.
If Mahomes stays
think it's too
this
early.
good.
Let's see how everybody is in
dark
November.
horse, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
Patriots
midway through.
Patriots start off slow. They always catch up.
Oh, I know.
Never count them out.
Yeah. Cowboys and Seahawks at Seahawks. I pick Seahawks.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Bears and Cardinals. That's a hard one, actually. At Cardinals. I want to pick the Cardinals just because I want to see them win.
I'm going to go Bears because Khalil Mack is going to destroy. He's probably going to take Sam Bradford's knee,
No, that's probably
take
true.
it off, and beat him with it. That's what I think is going to happen.
Patriots at Lions. I think Tom Brady's going to be pissed off.
Matt Patricia's going to cry. That's the coach for the Lions. We're going to see tears in his beard.
But their offense might be a little stifled.
I'm going to send him a little bottle of Baumhouse Blend Ruddy Man beard product, beard oil. But here's your tears
Yeah, really.
after you empty this bottle and send it to Bill. Okay? Because his team's going to suck.
One more.
Yes.
Steelers at Buccaneers. You think the Fitzmagic's going to
Bucks.
continue?
Bucks.
I think
yes.
it will too.
Yeah. I love it. Listen, when he came out looking like Conor McGregor, all right, he might as well have just told the whole league, boys, this is my team. I'm telling you, man, they're going to do what the Vikings did last year. They're going to keep him in.
Right.
I think Jameis is not going to play this season unless Fitz totally messes it up.
Well,
He will have a game where he throws 4 or 5 picks.
no, yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's always a given.
Yeah.
For this week's picks of last week's games, like the tally,
Yeah.
you're in the lead by 1, 8-7.
Oh, barely. Wait, listen. Statistically, we're just gonna be barely 50%.
Yeah, probably. Like
We'll
throughout,
get lucky.
throughout the whole thing.
We're gonna get lucky. So, you want to talk about Hard Knocks before we wrap it up?
Yeah, we got how much time? Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Well-
We'll talk about that in Josh Gordon.
Okay, so here we go. For y'all that don't know, HBO has a show called Hard Knocks. Okay, it's been going on for years now. The Dolphins
Started with the Ravens.
Yeah, the Dolphins were in it. I love that show.
It's so entertaining.
It's because the NFL, as much as you see them in the press doing commercials and doing all the stuff in the NFL
this
Network,
is so much more real.
this is the best.
It's just like
This is the closest thing
amazing.
you're going to get to watching, the brass tacks, right? Like they follow the player like Landry, who got the big contract, who's guaranteed a spot on the team.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes, they follow Baker Mayfield, the number 1 pick. They follow the tight end, who's just a free agent.
Devin Kajus.
Yeah, and I love him, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's new agey, believes in rocks.
Yeah.
But the stars of that show, there's 2 stars: Greg Williams
and Todd Haley.
The defensive coordinator is Greg Williams.
Oh,
now,
my
Greg
gosh.
Williams is famous for Bounty Gate.
Yep.
Remember Bounty Gate, guys? And Bounty Gate, basically, he would bribe players with money. They would take a pool. He did this with the Saints. It's when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And he was like, all right, guys, throw a bunch of money into this hat, and whoever knocks out Brett Favre or gets some statistical number gets this money.
Yep.
Okay?
Whoever
that
tears
stuff had
his
been
ACL,
happening for years in
Right.
the NFL.
With other teams.
Yes, and he was the poster boy of it. And then he got fired, took a year off, came back with a fresh haircut, lost weight,
Yep.
beautiful glasses,
And then
and started coaching again. He started coaching.
he went to Tennessee. And
Yeah,
then
he did
kinda
good.
bounced around a little bit.
He's been good.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. And then Todd Haley, who is as crazy as he is, offensive
Without
coordinator.
trying to kill other people on the
I love
field.
Todd Haley. Todd Haley every couple of years pops up in the news for getting in bar fights
Yep.
with people
Yep.
and suing them. It's happened more than once. The last guy he sued because he hurt his hip or something.
Right.
Okay. Todd Haley is just a nasty, nasty human. But I think he was probably Ben Roethlisberger's best offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
they
He had the best statistical years with him.
Oh, yeah, because he's nuts.
Yep.
He yelled at Jarvis Landry, I think the 2nd or 3rd preseason game, went off on him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he thought,
he stopped continuing his route.
and he went crazy.
Yep.
And I love that
Yep.
because he doesn't care how much money you make.
Yeah.
And he goes up to him and hugs him at the end of that game and says, "Listen, man, I expect you to be a leader on this team."
Yeah.
Right? Like, and
with Antonio Callaway.
That's why I'm pulling for them, man. Like, I'm not sure about the coach. What's his name?
I like Hugh Jackson.
I like Hugh too, but
I think he's very stern, but very like he's not an ass.
Hugh is a player's coach,
Yeah.
right? He hugs them. He's hard on them, right? But
not in a crazy way.
Not in a crazy way.
He's a very like
Bill Parcells was known for that. Bill Parcells was nuts. Bill Parcells in press conferences would call them ballerinas for being injured, right?
Yeah.
And just crazy stuff.
Man,
There's a funny story. Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah, that's
when
fine.
he joined the Dolphins
Yeah.
as the executive vice president, basically
Player
he was the
operations guy.
CEO. He
Yeah.
ran the team,
Yeah.
basically, and Tony Sparano was our coach, right? Tony Sparano I actually liked. Just some stupid decisions. I think the GM hurt him as a coach. I honestly liked the teams play hard for him, right?
right.
But the story was he walked in and there was an injury book for the team, right? Like there was a notebook of injuries, and they said he picked up that book and just tore all the pages out. It said, if your name ends up in this, you're not playing on this team. That's what he said.
Wow.
Okay, like I instantly saw a difference with that team. They brought in Chad Pennington, and you know what? They went to the playoffs that year.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was also
They're
the
like
year
12
that
and 4,
Brady
right?
got hurt. Yeah, listen, if Brady didn't play that season, that was the only chance we had winning that division, let's be honest. But Pennington played great.
And they almost made it with
Yeah.
Matt Castle too.
Pennington played great. And it was mind-blowing the difference he made. So those coaches are nuts.
Yeah.
And I think Todd Haley sort of is the same way.
Greg Williams, I don't think I ever saw a sentence that didn't have a curse word in it.
Yeah,
Like literally.
There's a scene in the last episode where Todd Haley walks in and goes, "Greg, did you stay here all weekend?" And Greg was like, "Yeah." And he was just like, Todd goes, "You really don't have a life outside of this." He goes, "No." He's like, "I go see my granddaughter every once in a while."
Wow.
Yeah, like that conversation happened the day they cut all these players. Like it looked like they had been in that, they were in that building at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
or something, and people don't realize how much these coaches go through in a season. They really only get 30 days off, and that's it. But dude, I'm pulling for the Browns, man. That show made me a fan.
Tyrod Taylor or Tyrod.
He did not.
technically.
Yeah. It's Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor, honestly, is the most humble quarterback I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, man. And
Everything he did was so positive.
yeah,
I never saw him even curse.
no, he
Ever.
He
always
it
posts
made me
scripture
like
on,
him
like,
even
Instagram
more.
and stuff
It made
too,
me
though.
even like him anymore. Even more.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, and I think Baker Mayfield is going to be the future of that franchise. Period.
But it just needs someone to mature him first.
Yeah, and he will. He
Yeah.
will.
I mean, you could just see how much he respects Tyrod Taylor, though, already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because Tyrod, he goes up and, hey, coach, I've played for like 6 teams now. So, he's played for 3, but you know what I mean? Like, I've played for 3 teams. I've been through 5 different offensive coordinators.
He's seen it
this
all.
This is what we should do for Baker. This is what we should do against this team. And they do it, and, they win the preseason game.
They know.
Like, and I'm sure with him playing the Saints, him finding Antonio Callaway on that route. I mean,
That's crazy.
dude, he's
think
talented.
I think Todd Haley, as an offensive coordinator, knows what Tyrod likes. I think any good coach is going to know what the quarterback likes to run. Gase has been doing that with Tannehill. Tannehill sort of had offensive coordinators that dictated to him the way everything was going to go.
Yeah, I've never understood why coaches, like, whenever they pick a franchise quarterback like Sam Darnold or Josh Allen, some coaches don't bring in parts of their college playbook.
They don't do any of that.
Some do, though.
Yeah, some do.
And the ones that do that have success.
Andy Reid did it. You know the coaches that coached Michael Vick after Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
With the whole
Philly.
the scandal. Then he comes back to Philly.
Right.
Of course, Andy Reid was coaching back then, right?
A coach that caters to the quarterback
They
will always have
morphed him.
success.
I mean, his best seasons they had with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a season he had with them that was just
Ridiculous.
crazy.
He had like 1,000 yards, and then he had like 4,000 passing yards.
It
or
was
something stupid.
one of the best mobile quarterbacks in history, I think.
Remember the game where they played? I think it was the Giants, and they had like 56 points.
Well, it tells you that a coach that understands that, it's a big deal, man. And then because a lot of people, like Gruden is like this, okay? Gruden's a West Coast disciple, right? Like, there's going to be options for Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But he's going to do what Gruden tells him to do.
Right, yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. Other than getting a first down with your legs when you need it,
Yep.
John Gruden's going to control him every second. It's a puppet,
Right.
right? So it's interesting to watch different styles, you know, and I think Todd Haley with the Browns
I was going to say, because
is going to be that way.
you can see.
Not like Gruden. He's going to be a little bit more
Right,
like
that's
Andy
what I was going
Reid.
to say. You can tell whenever he coaches, the plays they run, they look so comfortable already. And like Baker Mayfield, when he was doing snaps the first week being there, he looked like he just fit in.
Yeah, he
Because
did.
the playbook was so simple.
He stays in that pocket, man. Like
He does.
He does
He
not
runs when he needs. He's like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, it's very rare to see a rookie feel that comfortable.
And stoic.
Yes,
in the pocket.
that comfortable in the pocket. Tannehill really did not get that talent till the year he got injured, which
Right.
was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Tannehill was a quarterback drafted with an upside. You know, they knew he was going to be a development guy. I still think his peak is Alex Smith, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But and that's one of my favorite Twitter Dolphin columnists, Omar Kelly, talks about it all the time. But if we can get Alex Smith level of play out of him, the Dolphins can be in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, because the surrounding pieces are good enough.
Yes, and they are this year. Frank Gore, I love.
Hey.
Kenyon Drake, I love.
He set a record.
Yeah.
4th all-time career rushing
Beautiful,
touchdowns.
man. And the play that he saved the Dolphins bacon was pretty. I mean, it was like a 3rd and 18 something, 3rd and 20 something.
Real quick before we end this,
Yep.
Josh Gordon to the Patriots.
Yeah, so I called that.
I know you did.
I called it the minute the news came out.
I thought he got released at first.
The minute the news came out,
It's like,
I was like,
Patriots.
he's going to go to the Patriots.
And-
Now, I've already seen some people say, oh, well, Moss went over there and rejuvenated his career. First of all, to compare Moss,
to Josh Gordon.
that is a
little-
huge no-no.
Yeah.
That's a big leap.
To be fair.
Moss could have retired and been a Hall of Famer already
Yep.
when he went to the Patriots.
Right.
He had some of the most stellar years I've ever seen a wide receiver have at the Vikings.
And then it's like he kept going with the Patriots.
Yes.
You're like, what the
And
crap?
then,
Even at the Raiders.
and even with the Raiders, he did, even though he got some bad habits over there.
Yeah.
And then by the time he got to the Patriots, and he's been very public about this. He loves the Crafts, the family, loves Bill Belichick, calls like Bob Kraft his dad. Like he said that publicly.
Right.
Like they love him. And I mean, from what I understand, like every major thing the organization does, he's at still to this
Right.
day. But Randy Moss was prolific. I mean, to say prolific, that's not even an understatement
He's
with Tom
top
Brady.
5 wide receivers of all
I don't
time,
know-
arguably.
I don't.
Top 10.
And Josh Gordon, I know people with addictions,
Yeah.
right? Drug addictions, and I see what it does to them and their families. It's awful.
Right.
It's awful. I don't know what he's struggling with, right? And I hope this is his last chance.
Oh, for sure.
Like Tim Tebow's last chance was at the Patriots.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
Okay. And this is it for him. Like I don't think if he can't make it here, I hope he realizes this is probably it. And Tom Brady is historically known as a madman with his wide receivers.
Right.
Like he's nuts. He wants them, he wants to know where they're going at all times. And he's going to do that with Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Like
Like I said previously, if Josh Gordon comes in here and has the same production as he had with the Browns when he put up like 1,700 yards that season, he still won't be the best receiver on that team, obviously, because
No.
you have Gronkowski and you have Edelman.
No, Gronk got taken out there with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
They played him perfectly.
Yeah.
Because they have the corners that have the size to do it.
And they have Miles Jack, who's a perfect linebacker.
I mean,
coverage guy.
they are designed almost to match up to them.
Yeah.
And so for Tom Brady to have an option now, it's going to be if it works, because they'll let him go if he doesn't.
They're going to use him as that long bomb, Randy Moss-esque.
They are. I'm telling you, man.
6'4",
They won't.
full of upside.
If Brady doesn't trust him, he's not going to play there.
Oh, no.
Man. Chad Johnson went there, didn't make it.
Yep.
You know, there's plenty of wide receivers that tried to end their career there and just did not work out. Just did not work out. It stinks.
You know what's sad? T.O.
Yeah,
could still come in and play
probably.
play football.
Probably. He probably
He still
could.
runs like a 4.5, 4.5.
So nobody wants him.
They just don't want how he acts.
Of course. Nobody's, maybe somebody will say it. But listen, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. What's the score, by the way?
The score of the current Monday night game.
7-0.
Well, what a shocker. A sleeper. Yeah.
So we'll cover that next week.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep up. But we do appreciate y'all. I've already heard from some of our listeners. I know the feedback has been positive. We're going to stay at it. Please visit ruddymanbeard.com. All right. Our man, Jimmy Atkins company. Please visit bombhousepodcast.com or Facebook. Welcome to the Bombhouse Podcast. Gage, you have anything to say for the week for them? No wise words, any wise words? We did survive a hurricane. Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
A lot of water.
Just a lot of water.
But our hearts do go out to the east side of the state into South Carolina that was hit.
Oh, for sure.
I have close friends in the Lumberton area and out in Wilmington. And our prayers and thoughts are with you guys. And if you have a way to support them, there's plenty of things on Facebook. I saw some really good things. I know Elevation Church is doing some good things. A lot of churches are doing some good things. So please support them. Anyway, guys, it's been a great week. Peace out. Laying down that audio, so no smoking in my studio. Sound coming through the stereo. How you feeling shook? Vertigo. All of this confidence, dripping finesse, hitting notes and falsetto. We love tacos, so let Ricky do his thing pronto. Finish this session today, he gon' hit you with the mix tomorrow. Produce, record, mix, master it. Sounding so dope that it gets your past a little hit after hit after